So today I'm here with my dad, Mr. Kareem Paranda, and he has given me some very good news today. And I would like to ask you, can you tell me what happened today?
So, as you understand, as I explained earlier, one of the things that I constantly remind you of is that what you do today impacts your tomorrow. And, it's like a farmer. You have to prepare the soil. You have to, dig a hole, plant the seed, cover it back up, water it, allow some sunlight, and then be patient and wait for the growth. That seed doesn't germinate, I guess is the word, or doesn't develop until it has a relationship with the soil, the water, and the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But all that stuff takes work, takes preparation, work, and patience. And so, you see my day in, day out struggle, my day in and day out dedication to this laptop and the computer, and time that I spend on developing my business as an entrepreneur, first year entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working. I've been preparing the soil. I've been planting the seeds. And I've been watering. And I've been patient. And, I started my business in July? And, how many months is that now? July to now is roughly under about 9 months, whatever it may be, roughly in that area. And I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor. Things are starting to happen now as a result of planting the seed, preparing the soil, and watering.
All right, now look, I remember you telling me, he was like, there was one time, it was like last year though, 2017. I think it was somewhere in November or October. You were just straight exhausted.
Yeah, you remember? I remember that.
Straight exhausted.
Yeah.
All this stuff. Cause you staying up late at night, waking up early in the morning, just going straight back to that laptop. I'm like, what is this man doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that time too. But now you seeing, I guess.
Absolutely, man.
Rewards.
Absolutely, man. And I'm glad you brought that up because it's interesting that when you start to make progress in life, it's almost like at times you can have a short memory about the struggles and the sacrifices you made in order to get to where you are, because the rewards are like so
marvelous.
And fulfilling. It's like you don't even think about the sacrifices you made in order to get there.
They're worth it.
Exactly. Because now you've seen the fruits. It all pays off in the end. And oftentimes, I did feel discouraged. I did feel like giving up. But I know how to outlast pain. I know how to outlast the adversity or push through it. And sometimes in this entrepreneurial role, you're going to see droughts. You're going to see failed attempts. Things are not always going to go according to plan. But that's not the time to quit. That's the time to buckle down, hold fast, stand strong, and figure out, all right, what do I need to do different? What do I need to do next to fix this, or to correct it, or to allow this thing to give me what it is I'm expecting from it? And so it's ultimately not the environment's fault. It's about what you can do differently within yourself to overcome whatever challenges you may face. And so, this is a great lesson, man. And every lesson that I go through in my age, I want to share with you at your age at 15 so that you can be prepared sooner than later to conquer challenges or even surpass me sooner than later. I feel like I'm a late bloomer at this thing, man, and I didn't really have the tutelage or the guidance from a role model or someone who had a good business acumen to learn how to do business or run or start my own business. I had to do a lot of that research on my own. And as a result, it's one thing to start a business, but it's another thing to run a business. So This is new territory. So now that I'm learning how to run a business, and I'm learning through trial and error, now that these opportunities to do some phenomenal things and get referrals from reputable companies and businesses is starting to take shape. Now the other task is, or the other new experience is, I'm going to start getting a flood of people into my organization, into my business, that will depend upon my services. Now, I'm nice at what I do. I provide great service, but now I'm doing it for my own company. I'm not doing it for somebody else's 9 to 5. I'm doing it on the strength of self-talk, counseling and consulting, and not like some of the other agencies that I worked for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now there's a different level of investment. There's a different level of commitment. There's a different level of deliberate and intentionality behind how I make sure my clients are serviced. You know, versus me just playing one role at those other agencies. I'm now playing multiple roles at my own agency.
Mm.
You know, and so it's a different complexity, man, because there's so many different factors now I have to take into consideration. How my prices are, the quality of service is always going to be top notch as it was when I worked for those other agencies. But not only that, but now I have to make sure, you know, for my own, the survival of my agency, how do I generate additional business or repeat business from the clients that I serve? Whereas I didn't have to worry about that when I worked for other agencies. They had their own marketing or whatever it may be, reputation that people leaned on. Now, me being the new kid on the block with my business, I got to sort of now muscle and elbow my way into line with everybody else as it relates to competition.
Right.
So, you know, it's a great thing. God is number one on my side, and you know, He's shown me the favor because I'm faithful to the calling, the purpose that He's designated for my life. And as a result, I'm starting to see that seed that we talked about that I planted in the soil and watered and been patient for. Now the seed is peeking its head up out the soil. And so, you know, the plant, I see the green plant growing out of the soil, the stem. And so, you know, eventually it's going to grow and it's going to flourish. And then, you know, next thing you know, self-talk is going to be a household conversation.
All right, there was another thing that happened this week too, right?
Yeah, I got approved to be on the providers list at the court office.
Court office.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's an amazing thing, man, because, you know, it's a list of providers that the Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office approves to provide services for people who need mental health services or substance abuse services. So that's a big deal too, because you know, we're talking about helping people correct some of the behaviors or challenges that they have that cause them to get involved in the court system in the first place. So that's another phenomenal thing to be able to be a part of. And, you know, listen, I love what I do, especially people who have, I don't want to say made mistakes, but people who've made choices that didn't give them what they wanted and they end up in the court system. I love helping those individuals correct those, that thought process that created those conditions so that they don't create a lifestyle pattern of making those same mistakes. That's my passion, man. I love working with that population. And I really do look forward to working with the DA's office and the court system to help correct some of those clients, help them correct the behaviors that got them into trouble that you know, warranted them to come to my practice. So I'm excited about that as well.
Right. And how long you been in business again?
Man, since July of 2017.
How many months
July.
is that?
I say July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Man, 8 months. 8 months, man. 8 months. Now I got to say this too, though. I think one of the main ingredients of why I think I've been so successful, not from necessarily a financial standpoint, but one where I'm getting this favor, is because I've surrounded myself with people who are way smarter than me, people who are way more established than me. And I mean, so many of them, so many different people from diverse backgrounds who I've placed myself humbly in their presence to learn everything about them that I can learn. And that's the ingredient, I believe, that's allowed me to be as successful as I have been in these 8 months of business. Because I've given myself permission to learn from people, everybody that I come in contact with. And so it's not about the financial gain as much as it is about the social capital, being able to know the right people who can advocate for you, who can put in a good word for you, or who can connect you with the right people to help you get what it is you need. That's critical and that's key. And every piece of information that they have, I hold on to it, I cherish it, and I appreciate them for it because I was able to use it to make sense out of where I needed to go with what it is that I offer as a service and as a package. So this is cool, man. Even like you, man, taking the time out to film me. You know, this was your idea. I wasn't even thinking about putting this on, and for you to just grab the camera and come in here and look at my face and say, hey, so, you know, giving me some Brian Gumble questions and whatnot. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And you 15 years old?
Yeah. Freshman. Independence High School.
You know, it's not cool because you got it on me, right? And I'm looking at you, and you're not even on camera.
Questions? Okay.
So,
all right, hold on. Go ahead.
So how about you? Let's do this. How about you come over here?
Come over here.
Yeah. So what inspired you to grab the camera and come on to film and record me?
You know, it was probably just you telling me all these things that happened today. So I was like, you know, it was probably a good idea if, you know, recorded this. It would be a good memory, you know.
Sure.
Whatever, yeah.
And thank you for that, man. Thank you for being considerate about creating memories, man, because memories are so important and vital for family, especially, you know, I'll never be this age again. I'm going to continue to get older, and, you know, you may have to one day take care of me because, you know, it's like what they say, once a man, twice a child, man.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the reality of, it's a circle of life. And, you know, I really do appreciate, like, you know, when I take this camcorder, the same camcorder, and I come to your track meets, I come to your football games, and I record you because I want you to have something to look back on when you get older. Say, hey, man, I remember a time when I did this in high school. And I played these sports when I was in Pop Warner or those rec leagues when I was in my younger years. And you have memories of it, you know, and that's valuable. That's valuable. It's not something that I have a lot of. I don't have a lot of recorded memories, but you will. You and your brothers and your sister will have recorded memories, and definitely appreciate you for doing this for me. So now think about this, man. So what are your thoughts on fatherhood? How important is fatherhood to you?
I feel like that's very important. I don't think there's no way around it. Because you said you grew up without your dad being in your life. And I was like, I couldn't really imagine you not in my life, like not being in my life. Because like if I look back and like see you not there, I don't know how things would have turned out, you know.
Sure enough. What would you say is the value in having a father involved in your life?
A lot of things. You know, I think the big thing would be is like somebody that gets you and knows you, you know, like probably like just a big support factor, probably.
So when you think about our relationship, you know, what would you say are the greatest benefits from having dad involved in your life? When I say dad, obviously I mean me, but I'm talking in the third person.
Yeah.
But,
good laugh.
Good laugh?
Good laughs.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, we know how to be silly, yo. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but in all seriousness, it's probably, it's just you having that support and like the talks you give me are like, I'm now starting to see things that you be talking about, that you talked to me like when I was 10, 12, 11 and all that. I'm starting to see it now and like see the world differently. This is in high school. So yeah, that's a big thing, just you supporting me.
And that's huge to hear that, man, because, yo, some days, man, when I remember talking to you and giving you those speeches, I always wondered, man, do you get it? And granted, I wasn't preparing you for that particular time of your life, but I was preparing you for a time to come. And oftentimes, I think parents, and what I've learned through my practice or just working with folks, different parents and different families, is that Many children don't understand that their parents are raising them according to a future that they will eventually experience. And oftentimes the message of the parent goes unheard or discredited because it's inconsistent with the current reality of the child. And so one of the things I definitely wanted to emphasize with you is that, yeah, this is your current reality. Be mature about it, be responsible in it, but also be mindful that what you do today impacts your tomorrow. And so, I'm glad that you're able to see how whatever I shared with you in your younger years is manifesting itself in your later years, being today. And, everything that I'm sharing with you today, you will see manifest again 3, 4, 5 years from now, maybe even as soon as next year. And so the maturity you have as a 15-year-old is not consistent with, or common, I should say, with the other 14, 15-year-olds that are out here in the world. But you have to understand leadership is a characteristic that people are not born with, but they develop over time. It's not something that, necessarily you're naturally born. You have to cultivate it. It's like an energy, and you can use it in a multitude of ways. It's like fire. If you don't contain fire, it can be very destructive. But if you contain it to a stove or to a furnace, then it can be very useful, cooking your food, heating your home, whatever it may be. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the ability and the potential you have. It's an energy that you have to control and apply it correctly. And you have to utilize your time effectively with this energy, not wasting it on idle foolery or things that will not profit you anything. So I'm thankful for your how you're maturing and how you're gaining wisdom. And man, listen, the universe is the limit, and that's infinite. So possibilities and opportunities are also infinite if you use your energy and your time correctly. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Word up. So, man, how should we close this out, man? I think we should do more of this. What you think, man?
Yeah.
It's dope.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So what should we tell them? I mean, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post this. I'm going to post this on one of them joints. I don't know. I got Facebook. I can post it on Facebook and YouTube. Matter of fact, I got the YouTube channel. I'm going to post this on the YouTube channel. And what should we tell them? Like, yo, how do you close off YouTube channels? Like, I'm new to this. I'm new to most of this stuff.
I don't know. Peace Squad.
Peace Squad, no doubt. We out.